me starting Outsourcing Angel, it's been about over 10 years journey in the outsourcing space. I started a first business in e-commerce, trying to sell nail polish. I thought I was going to make $1 million, because if I only have to make a profit of $1 for 1 million girls, and every girl wears nail polish, I should be a millionaire straight away. And that was my kind of a delusional journey into entrepreneurship. I had zero ideas, and I ended up having to learn how to get a website done, how to SEO, and all these digital marketing terms that I never heard of. And because I had to do it for my e-commerce business, I learned how to find the right people, and didn't know much about overseas people yet, but with limited funding, I really had to find ways. And that was when I stumbled into outsourcing, working with overseas people. But I fell in love with it because I felt that was my mission, to help people in developing countries. I came from Vietnam, and being able to move to Australia, I was like, this is such a great concept here. It's like we can actually employ and create jobs for people over there. They don't have to move countries, and we can't, bring everyone to Australia or America. But this is such a great way to give back and help those people over there. So yeah, I've been doing that for over 10 years, and I'm always figuring out what kind of services do people need? Who do we need involved in it? Some of them could be local people, but majority of them can be done from overseas people. But how do you bundle it into a productized service that helps, customers get the result, but then putting people into a team that can deliver that? And, whether they're overseas or local, we just, bundle the right people in. About 2018 or something, I actually realized I had this aha moment. I was like, if my mission is to inspire millions of people and to help people around the world, the only way to do that is touch those people's lives. And how do you do that? You can't really go and meet individually. It's really comes down to videos. And so I was actually a shy girl. I grew up being super shy, and my teachers always complained I was shy. And so I have always been in the journey of trying to become more confident. And, when people look at me with videos now, they're like, oh, you're such a pro, because you're good at videos. I'm like, no, it's not. It's actually me deciding that this is the way to take my business to another level, but also to make an impact. And so that was when I decided to really get into YouTube. But I didn't know anything about YouTube, so I started vlogging. I thought, everyone would be interested in, a CEO's life. And I started to shoot behind the scenes, and I was even pumping out one video a day, because it's just filming my day. And then I just realized that was not the strategy. And, you start to figure out that people aren't watching it. And so then I really had to go and commit to learning something. And so I did a course, and I studied it all. And it was just so complex, because, YouTube is so powerful. There's so much analytics, and it's just also so competitive on there. There's millions and billions of videos. And so, it was a very challenging journey, but I was committed, because, when you have that understanding that this is the only way, you really just committed to it. And I was just testing, and, I didn't really listen to the teacher either. They said to niche, and I was like, I like outsourcing, but I like other things as well. And so I kind of didn't listen, and I started talking about spirituality and my family and my travel. Like I just did, I'm a rebellious little entrepreneur. I just don't believe people. No, I don't believe. I just like to try my way. And so trying it my way now, I really realize that, you do really need to just stick to your, core expertise. And the more videos you do, the more you can understand what people are actually, wanting to hear from you. And so the more you do videos, the more you get better at doing videos, and your video starts to be ranked high on YouTube, and people start finding you again and again. Like they always say, the best time to plant a tree is now. It's that kind of saying. I feel like it's never too late. When I started, I was like, man, I wished I started in 2000 and whatever, when YouTube started. Because if you were to open any successful YouTuber online, you go to their videos, when they first started, it was so crap. It was 10 years ago. It was, many, many years ago. And yet they continue to, to craft their message and became so good at it that now they're really successful. But they all started somewhere. And so I too was like, I really felt like it was too late. But then now, many years later, you guys are like still fresh to it. And so there's always going to be more and more people. Over 10 years ago, outsourcing to me, I thought everyone knew it and I was just catching on. But at the time, no, it wasn't. wasn't. It's like now they kind of go, yeah, oh, now we know outsourcing. Outsourcing is cool now. And so I just think that you can't judge the timeline of anything. And I think if you just get the point that I did, which was like, you need to build an audience in order to succeed in life or business, then the best time to start is now. And everyone's journey is going to be different. Some people are, for example, yourself, already so great at presenting on camera. You will just get there a lot faster than someone who is completely brand new, who's still just trying to overcoming their confidence issue on camera, let alone, optimizing the video. So then I've got some friends who just boom, in 1 year, hundreds and thousands. And then people like myself who kind of didn't listen and wasn't that committed and went along the one way, but still reaping the benefit now in terms of a strong brand and people finding us on there. Like any branding, I would call YouTube is a way to build a brand. And that means that you can't expect fast return. It's because, with a brand, you nearly need to be in front of people again and again and add value. But the best thing is evergreen. It just sits there. And the videos that do well are the ones I've made 2 years ago. And so it's imagine having this salesperson that is like, alive and working for you 24/7, and you don't have to be there. So I love outsourcing. I love leveraging, and I find videos as a way to really leverage me. So I make a video and educate people on a particular topic, and it goes off. It's like a box office hit, I call it in movies. And that one video can actually do all the work for you. But I guess over time, YouTube also needs to detect that you are a serious content creator and you're actually creating consistent content. So I would say to treat YouTube like as if you've just been given a contract on the, network, an Oprah network, right? And you are now the Oprah. And so you are committed to, be there for your audience and continue to get better on your show. And you're going to have to turn up at that time every single week, right? Oprah doesn't all of a sudden goes, I can't be bothered showing up today. So you two have to really own this platform and go, this is my platform, my voice, and I'm going to be there every week and build my own, I guess, loyal fans and followers. And so by doing that, you will see there's more than just, people watching and leads. You actually start to get messages from people going, you really helped my life, my business, and you've transformed me. But of course, just to answer in terms of how do you actually convert leads, because of the description area under the video, it gives you so much space to actually add all your lead magnets and your websites and tell them to even follow your other channel. There's just so much space. It's almost like a web page. You're able to really use every video like a landing page. And so then you drive people into your, into your offer. And, look, at the end of the day, I would say that people nowadays are everywhere, right? And YouTube is where they're really listening and wanting to learn everything. And that's the best place where they feel like, oh my God, you're giving me so much value and I get to know you. It will almost get a sample of you, the way you work, the way you think, that it creates likes and trust so much more than all the little teasing thing that you do on all the other channels. YouTube is so different to LinkedIn and all the other social channels because it's actually a search engine. It's the second highest visited website. And it's after Google. So it's two search engines really that most people go to. And why do people go to? Because it helps them to solve a problem. You go there and you're searching for something you need. And so your videos will be found. And like I told you, my videos have that doing well 2-3 years ago, and it's still working for me. And it's because people are looking and searching for that. And so on LinkedIn or any other channel, your content kind of just dies out. Like it's just, away. So you feel like you have to keep working at showing people and, and hoping that someone on that day saw something that, aligns to them. But at the end of the day, it's very different because, one channel is very kind of quick. So that's why we love to repurpose content. When you do long form YouTube content as well, it just creates so much assets for you, right? You've spoken for 10 minutes. There's so many content that can be repurposed into graphics and snippets that then it makes Instagram, LinkedIn so easy, because a lot of times people don't do those channels because they're like, oh my God, there's so much content to do. But if you already started creating long form, then all the little forms are so much easy for your team as well. If they were to write a caption, it's so easy to write because you actually gave them context in this piece of content. So because when I first started on social media, I remember someone said to me, you should start doing video. I'm like, oh my God, what do I say? And then it said, oh, do 1 minute videos. And I was like, how do I talk in 1 minute? You know, I was just like, could not get the message right in 1 minute. And then I realized after I started doing YouTube, it made my social media content on the other channels so much easier to do. Number one is you got to decide, are you going on YouTube just to host, you know, the link so that you can share that link to, you know, your current existing people that you know? Then YouTube doesn't really matter anymore, right? It's like you don't really care about search engine. But if you really want to be able to have another source where people can find you, a cold audience from anywhere that might be looking for something to find you, then you really need to understand its algorithm. And so what happens is I see a lot of podcasters nowadays go, okay, I have a podcast. I'm going to start hosting it on YouTube. And so they basically just host a video up, name it the same name, you know, podcast one with blah, blah, blah. And it's like, how no one would even be searching that keyword. And then there's no tags, no keyword research that's done. There's no thumbnails. So the title is important because it really works in terms of helping people find you. And then thumbnail is kind of helping you to compete against all the other searches that will come out. If you have a really crappy thumbnail, and sometimes you do it wrong by, you know, copying your title, putting it onto your thumbnail, and it's so long and so hard to read. So you really need to, you know, check your mobile and be able to see that, does this thumbnail just straight out pop few words, tell me what that video is? Does it have an engaging image? And in a way, you also have to be smart enough to go, okay, I want to keep to theme, but I still need to make my thumbnails kind of vary and different. Because otherwise, if after they like one of your video, they go to your channel and they're like, which video should I watch now? There's just too, you know, it's just so similar as well. And so in a way, you just need to treat YouTube as a way of how do you make sure that you stand out against, you know, imagine Netflix, right? You know, when you watch Netflix, you know what it's like. You want to watch something and you're kind of looking for a cool title, a cool, you know, cover of this movie. And then you just flick around and you kind of pick that. And so how do you do that for your own video on YouTube to make people want to click that? I have a friend who's pretty much going to stop doing his original business because he's turning over $20,000 a month just on YouTube because he creates so much educational content for his audience that his, you know, subscribers and views are so high that he goes, oh my God, I cannot believe I'm earning more from YouTube. So YouTube actually pays him. So that's just one way. But for me, I guess I'm not after that way, but if I can, I would. But overall, it helps me to be able to attract clients. So we often always ask our clients, where did you find us? And they're like, oh, we Googled you. And then we went and watched a YouTube video, and, you know, they kind of got to see that we're an expert in our field, and then they become a client in that way. And then it's brand sponsorship. So it's the same friends of mine are the ones that are, you know, really going well with their subscribers and their views. That's when they start getting brand deals. I think as business owners, we can't get caught up with subscribers and views and comment. Like if I got to this point and all I got was that, there was no way I would think it's a great idea. But it's because we're actually generating clients. We get downloads, lead magnets. We're building up the database through, publishing content and driving people into our database. Now, we've tried even creating courses before, and we realized that why not use that amazing content and share it with the public? And there's going to be more eyeballs in that. And then we want to be able to give so much value that they actually then want to actually buy our product as well. Views and likes and comment, subscribers, etc., kind of allows you to see that, yeah, you're progressive. There's people that are liking your content and want to be your fan. But ultimately, we're always tracking the number of conversions, you know. So our VA would always screenshot people, go, oh, I love watching your YouTube. Well, I found your video on YouTube. Same as on LinkedIn, right? It's like, hey, I really like your content. Hey, I'm ready to talk about a VA now or whatever else. So, yeah. And look, the more resources you have to really track every metric, the more you will really see it. But I'm more of a Philly kind of person, you know. If you talk to my ops manager, he's very data person. And for me, I know I'm on the right track because I often feel and regularly get, whether it's you inspire me or business, actual business deals, and from places that you would never be able to reach. There's people in America, Canada. We've got a client in France. My husband found me on YouTube. I'd never had any connections with him. I was from Melbourne. He's from Sydney. And actually one of the interesting one was a donor for outsourcing angels. So we're actually quite a social enterprise, always trying to give back. And we made a video about our charity work, and we had someone from America who lives in Singapore was going, I was just looking for something that I want to donate to that I feel like it's not going to some, organization that takes all the money into the admin, right? Like it's just something more authentic. And then I found your video. Can we have a chat on Zoom? And now he's been a regular donor of my mission. He actually asked me if I could help him get over there so he can actually physically do the mission. And he did. Within like 2 weeks of meeting us, he was in the Philippines, and he's got photos of him. He's like, this is the most amazing experience I've ever had. And the connection was completely elsewhere. Yeah. I think everyone's on a different journey. And so, for example, my friend who's doing really well on it he goes into depth and really show tutorial on how you can design things or how you do different things, right? And so that's his kind of niche. And I guess it really comes down to how much promotion you do at the beginning as well. So, I would say that I don't do that well in a sense because I have too many businesses and channels and things. And so we don't really even promote the YouTube video when we publish it. And for many years, we just keep on procrastinating because there's just more priority things to do. But one thing that you will see is that if you post consistently and you get better over time, and if you don't get better over time, that's also going to stagnate, right? And what you're doing here is you are investing in working with us to go, okay, well, what do I need to look at? And so everyone's journey is always going to be depending on whether they're getting proper help, doing it properly, and consistently publishing it. So we've got clients who actually, at the end of the day, it is a show that you have to turn up all the time. And so, yes, they get excited at the beginning and then they start to post very randomly. And so the result will always won't be as good. And so I think it comes down to your effort. It's like if you had that aha moment, because I call it because my husband, when I said to him, okay, that's it, I'm going on YouTube, he's like, I thought you already did YouTube back then, And I'm like, no, I meant like, that aha switch where I feel like I am going in, right? And then you're going to have more moments like that as well. I found that at the beginning, I was like, yeah, I'm going to do it. And then later, when you learn more about yourself and the way you're doing videos and what you feel like the audience really likes, you then get this extra aha because you get to your flow of what you're good at and what people like. And it's that constant journey of you becoming better and the audience liking your stuff that then your channel really grows. And so nowadays, I would say that I think, and then here's the feedback from the people that have grown their channels way bigger than mine. They said that it's almost an exponential growth as well. It kind of goes like that, and then YouTube starts to go, I don't know, the algorithm kind of goes crazy. So a lot of my friends were slow at the beginning, and now it's like thousands of subscribers each day, and I seen mine. It's like, it's so consistent. At the beginning, it was a bit slower, but now it's almost like 500 subscribers every month. It's just, you just keep seeing the growth. And so as long as you stay consistent and dedicate to do this, not just for, I just want a quick win and I want people to buy my stuff. But this is, I'm going to leave a legacy. I want to build a brand, an Oprah, I want to be the Oprah of, DIY videos or video in general, and add value. And I do it because I love it, to change people's lives. Then you'll do it longer and you'll do it with the right intention. And then, then you'll also get the result at the end as well. At the beginning, you would probably want to stick to your niche, which is video marketing. And, over time, a lot of YouTubers starts to, when you build enough audience, then you can actually pivot into other things that you're passionate about, still within business, right? Like, I don't think you should go like the way I did, which is like business and then also talk about God, completely different. Whereas now I like to talk about outsourcing and business kind of thing. But then I realized that I'm more around how to live a really great, happy life, and outsourcing and delegating is part of it. And so I do test and do it, but I kind of have that clarity in my intention and why people are here for. And so I also leverage the channel as a podcast. So it's like, the podcast is great because you get to network. You meet someone, you interview them, you build that relationship. And so I get to do that on the YouTube channel too. And when people get to see themselves visually on videos and you start repurposing these videos as well, it makes a bigger impact. The like and trust goes higher. And so the channel itself is also a way for me to network and connect. So I've got that advantage as well.